Okay, the time is now 6:45. Let's call this Town of Plainfield Pension Board meeting to order on November 9th at 6:45 p.m. Roll call.
Mark Gagnon.
Kevin Cunningham.
Christy Haskell.
John Luce.
Tom Senkowitz.
Becky Hewitt.
And I'll hold on 1 second. Kathy is on her way in. Kathy, we're just doing roll call. So wait till we get audio. There we go. Kathy, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me, Kevin?
Yes, thank you. We were just doing roll call, so I was waiting for you to come in.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. So we've called to order then roll call. We can go to item C, which is approved minutes from the August 10th, 2020 meeting. I entertain a motion at this time to accept, or if there's any comments to be made for modifications.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from August 10th, 2020.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Item D has public comment. Anybody from the public want to make comment? Hearing none. Item E, which is new business, consider an act on retirement request from town employees. Let me bear with you 1 second here. There it is right there. So I'm sure that you have just a cover page for this. I have all the background detail. Ron also has information as well.
Yes.
So let me do this. I think that's it. So that was it. That was the agenda. Sorry about that. So we have one item for business, and that is, turn my page here. This is for a gentleman for pension calculation for Gerard Lefebvre, spelled Lefevre Jr. He was a school custodian, and his date of hire was 6/30/1986. His last day of work for termination was June 30th, 1995. So he hasn't been employed by the town for a while, but now he's at 62 years of age. He had been working for us for 9 years, and he is requesting his pension to be paid monthly at $202.05. So unless there's any discussion, what it would be this: a motion to approve the monthly pension payments to Gerard Lefebvre Jr. in the amount of $202.05, commencing on October 1st, 2020.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed and abstain. All right, so that is it for the business at hand. I think that's pretty much it, unless anybody else has anything to bring up.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 All right, we'll pop off of this. In about 10 minutes, we'll be up on the Board of Selectmen meeting, and you're all welcome to join in. Thank you.
Aye.
All right, the time is now 7 p.m. I'd like to call this Town of Plainfield Board of Selectmen meeting to order on November 9th at 7 p.m. I ask that you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll go through roll call.
Mark Gagnon.
Kathy Tendridge.
Kevin Cunningham.
Becky Hewitt.
All right. All right. Item C, we'll ask for approval of the October 26, 2020 meeting minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the 10/26/2020 meeting minutes.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
And that,
Okay. Motion,
I'll second that, Kevin.
okay, thank you. Any other discussion at this time? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item,
Aye.
thank you. Item D, public comment.
Yes, I do have a few things to comment on.
For the record, your name, please.
Dan Reel,
Okay.
two things. I see there's actually three. Two are kind of, it's on the agenda. One is actually good news. So the item on the agenda we've got a grant writer and a recreation director. I'm puzzled as to how this is going to get paid for. I'm truly puzzled. And as far as the recreation director, we're kind of still in a time where occasionally we have these orders coming through where we're going to wrap like playground equipment in caution tape. I'm not. Maybe this is going to seem a little off, but I don't know. I mean, I guess these items come up in a different alternate reality where the money exists to pay for these things. So the good news, the town is no longer suing itself, but there are some implications here. The first is, well, of course, the town won against itself. It fought really hard. It did its homework, and the ruling from the court, which I guess this is good and bad. It's good in the sense that the town won against itself. But it's bad in that Town Charter Section 5-5B apparently has a conflict with Connecticut law. And in that case, the Connecticut law overrides. So the good news is the town won. The bad news is we've essentially rendered ZBA appeals as functionally meaningless. We've opened the door for boards to sue each other. And yeah, not good. But I guess the good news is the town won. That's all.
All right, thank you. Anybody else have any public comment? Okay, hearing none, we can go into item E, which is old business, discuss town charter, section 5(3)D, and review of town ordinances. We talked about this at the last meeting where we were going to try to come up with some dates or an idea of doing a workshop. So I wanted to ask the board members their pleasure and what they would like to do for a workshop. And in order to do that, we have some dates still left in November before the holidays start really ramping up. November 12th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th. And I would say that would probably be something we could do if it's like an after 5:30 p.m., but still be able to get some time in to talk about each of the items in the ordinances. Or if you wanted to wait until after the holiday, we can do that as well. But I just wanted to know your opinion upon what might work for you for daytime, evening, and then day of the week.
For me, Kevin, it would be best after the holiday, but daytime would be better for me than evening.
So
If
after holiday
possible.
or after Thanksgiving?
Yes, please.
Okay. And daytime? What would be a good daytime, Kathy? Just so we can ballpark the time frame. What's good for daytime for you? Is it morning or early afternoon, later afternoon? What works?
I'm sorry, but
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. I just wanted to know what works for you as far as the time frame. So if you could repeat that, it would be great.
What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can, yes.
So morning would be best for me.
And so what I'm going to do is I'll ask that you send an email in for the dates and the times that work for you. And so Art do the same thing, and I can work around either one. So
I'm still waiting for the town clerk to get copies for us of the forms that we're missing,
okay,
amendments and stuff. So we're still waiting on that anyway.
all right. So maybe
I'm
by
going
that
after
time,
the holiday.
All right.
And
right,
early in the morning is fine too, like that 9 or whatever.
All right. So with that in mind, I would entertain a motion to table the discussion on the town charter review for town ordinances.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item number F1, which is under new business, new business. I would ask also for those people who are not on the board, if you wouldn't mind just putting a mute onto your, so we don't have the background audio. Thank you. All right. All right. So item 1 was consider an act on tax refunds as requested by the town tax collector totaling $2,215.79 as follows. You have Toyota Trust, which has 7 different items. Toyota Trust for $487.78, $440.59, $398.57, $141.79, $132.31, $119.32, and $68.56. That's the 7 for Toyota Trust. Honda Lease Trust is for $325.51, and REL Chem is for $11.36. What is your pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve the tax refunds in the amount of $2,215.79.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Item number 2 in your packet, you will see that there is discussion to act upon proposed job descriptions that we have for a grant writer and full-time recreation director, and then act on each of those to post and hire. That is in section 2. In there, you'll see that there's job descriptions for each of those titles for the Director of Economic Development / grant writer, and another one for a full-time recreation director. As you know, we had it in this year's budget that was approved to go forward with those 2 positions. So we have the money allocated for those 2. If you had a chance to look over the job descriptions for each one yet?
I have. I see no problems except for typos, of course.
Okay.
Do you want those?
You know what? We can fix the typos. That's not a problem. Just if you want to either email me what they are, but if you want to say what they are right now, that's fine. I can fix them as we speak.
Oh, they're easy. I'll just give them to somebody.
All right.
I can just drop it off
All right. That's fair enough.
at town
Okay.
hall. Because they're just commas that should be there, shouldn't be there, and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
Oh.
Kathy, you had a chance to read through?
I did, Kevin. I don't see any issue with them.
Okay. So we have descriptions now that are there. We can approve the descriptions and then motion to put those on to.
Hey, Kevin, I have
Yes.
one question. On the grant writer position,
Mm-hmm.
under qualifications, requirements,
Yes.
knowledge, skills, and abilities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items down, must be able to calculate figures and, is that supposed to be amounts?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that was the right word.
Mhm.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. So at this time, I would ask for approval of the job titles, and therefore we can act on those to post and hire.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Pending arts changes for typos. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was just that one word, amounts, and 2 commas. That was it.
All right. Item number 3 is consider an act on the sale of iPark lot number 7 and lot number 12. Kathy, you came in for your packet, and I apologize, but right after that, Marianne had made up a memorandum. I want to see if I can do is actually pull it up here. It might be online.
Okay.
Hopefully I can get to share this one. Let's see if I can do that. There we go. All right, so what we wanted to do is at least give you a little bit of background of what's going on. Options that we have right now are a proposed sale of lot number 7 and 12 in the iPark to Edgewater Construction. And it would be fair to at least give a little bit of background on who Edgewater is. But this document gives you a little bit of background. Just get it up here so you can get most of that in the read. So they are a New Hampshire company, but they're in Massachusetts. That's why they're considered foreign. I know we have Mary Ann on here. If she wanted to add anything other than what's listed here. They're proposing, what they have to propose is they would like to come in and build, and then they would go out to ask for someone to come in. But it doesn't matter who comes in. They all still have to follow the same rules and regulations that the iPark zone is requesting to do. So at least this way you understand what's going on right now.
So really what they're doing, Kevin, is putting the building up and then they're looking for tenants. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
And this is something where we've done something like this in the past, years ago, but we also have, I think there's one business right now, which is actually empty. So if anybody ever bought that business, which is empty, they would still have to go through the same process, going through in front of planning and zoning, well, economic development first, planning and zoning, or if there's wetlands attached to it as well. I have to go through all of the same channels to propose and get approval through those entities.
Do you know about these intended uses? Are they good for the industrial park?
Well, again, they have to bring them forward through iPark rules. So,
Okay, I didn't know if you knew.
No, not yet.
Okay.
I can tell you one thing that we've gone through is, and just so it's clear, these two are the start. There are 6 total lots left. We've had a very good relationship with Lyman, and they've been able to bring forth different groups that want to buy up pretty much the entire park. I can say that with confidence that they are looking to actually purchase what we have left. So there's another company that wants to come in for lot 3, and we'll talk about that very briefly at the end of the meeting. But this is right now 2 contracts which give us, as it stands right now, each one is $40,000 minus their commission. So we're still looking at a decent amount of money to come forward for the 2 lots. So the process has to go one step at a time. The first step is, we approve, we go forward. And that's why later on tonight, you're going to see that there's a Board of Finance meeting, a special one, to talk about the same subject. That goes from there. It would then end up with the planning and zoning, which is tomorrow night. We would, as you see in the rest of the agenda, we would end up setting, if we approve, we would actually go to number 4, which is setting the town meeting for the approval of that.
Evan, was there appraisals done on those properties?
Yep. Mary Ann, you have that information for appraisal. If you're still here, let me just make sure.
There were no appraisals done for the properties. When Lyman was hired by the town, they did comp comparisons and came up with lot costs at the time. So they listed selling prices for the remaining lots. Lot 7 and 12 were both listed at $44,000 based on the comparables in the area.
And the bids that came in from those 2, from that one company to purchase these both are each $40,000.
Thank you.
So if you've read them over and had any other comments or discussion items,
The only thing with me was the typos, and I can get them later.
I have no other questions, Kevin.
So I would entertain a motion at this time to approve the sale of I Park Lot number 7 and I Park Lot number 12, each at $40,000.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Which brings us to 4, which is setting a town meeting date pending the approval of our Board of Finance passage on that sale. We can set a date, and tentatively at this time, I would entertain a motion to set a date for November 22nd at 6:45 PM, again by Zoom.
I'll make a motion to set a town meeting date for Tuesday, November 24th at 6:45 PM via Zoom.
Was that 24th, Kevin, or 22nd that you said?
24th, is it Tuesday the 24th?
Okay. I'll second that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The final thing in here that we have is setting an annual town meeting for the third Monday in November as detailed in section 2.3.a of the town charter. Annually, we're supposed to come up with a town meeting for the audit. I can tell you at this point that on the town side, and we have Kelly's still here, so in case I'm wrong, but I think on the town side, we're very close to being done from the auditor's perspective. I know on the Board of Education, but there are a few more reports that they're still looking for. I don't think we're going to make it in time for the 16th. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure we're not going to make it in time for the 16th. We still have to set the meeting, go to the actual meeting, explain to the public what will be the next step. We anticipate, though, I'm anticipating that sometime in December that they'll have this completed. And then we can actually go out and set a date with for a town meeting. And I've been talking to the Board of Finance chair about that, making sure that we're on the same page and understand where we stand on this. So I would probably look at this as a setting of the town meeting according to the town charter for the third Monday in November, which is Monday, November 16th at 7 p.m.
I'll make that motion to set the meeting for November 16th at 7 p.m. at the, that will be Zoom, correct, Kevin? You said?
Yes. Yes, thank you. Motion's been made.
I'll second.
All right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we're still looking for one board member, and this comes up every once in a while when it happens, but we just want to make sure there's a reminder out there that there is an opening for the representative for Eastern Regional Tourism District. And if anybody's interested, you can contact me and I can give you some more details on that. But we'll put up on the website and also on Facebook for that that item. That's it. Any other?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll
Motion's
second
been
that.
made. Kathy's made a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll be back for Board of Finance in a few minutes.
Very good. So we will get started then. If everyone please join in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
Of America.
and to the
To the
republic
republic
which it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty
liberty.
and justice for all. All right, roll call. Travis Irons.
Present.
Okay, Don Cavella.
Here.
Tom Sinkowitz. Gary Stallborn.
Here.
All right, I saw Doty and Kelly are here. Anybody else join us as far as members? Don't believe so. So therefore, Kim absent, Ted Dumaine absent, and Matt, Raiden, and Keith Shealy absent. All right. Moving on to item C, acceptance of the minutes from the October 21st, 2020 meeting. Minutes were posted and distributed. Any questions, comments on the meeting minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that the meeting minutes are accepted as presented.
I second that.
Okay, thank you, Travis. Who was the second?
Gary.
Gary, okay. Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Matt Radin just joined.
Apologies, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Very good. So, Matt, you have voting rights now that you've joined us. So we have absent full members.
I accept.
All right. Next item, item D, under new business, to discuss and approve the sale of iPark Lot 7 and iPark Lot 12 and forward to town meeting. So I know some were not on the Board of Selectmen meeting. Pretty straightforward. The name of the group that the offer has been presented by is Edgewater Construction. I believe Kevin said they were out of New Hampshire or represented from Massachusetts. And we are being offered the $40,000 for each lot. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. One question is, maybe Kelly can answer it, is assuming that we're to go through, what do we have to keep in mind is subtracted from that for commission fees?
The percentage that they're receiving.
Do we
Kevin,
know that?
what was, I don't remember.
Marianne,
Kevin, do you know what their percentage is?
Marianne, are they representing themselves also on the other side?
Yeah,
So it's
They are.
8%.
8%. Okay.
Okay.
And Kevin, assuming that these two lots go through, not counting these lots, how many does that leave us with in the iPark?
Well, that we have a total of 6 right now, minus these 2 would be 4.
Okay. And again, as mentioned at the Selectmen's meeting, this being the first step, we of course don't know, even though there would be proposal to put, warehouse there, we don't know necessarily who would be there as tenants.
Correct.
And then also, assuming we approve it tonight, it still has the step of going tomorrow to planning and zoning. That's correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. And the proposed town meeting date that was just approved, which I certainly approve of, is November 24th, 2020, 6:45 p.m. via Zoom. So that's what we would also be sending this to.
I think the motion we did make was 7 p.m., but that's okay.
Is it 7 for the?
I'll look back on how it was. I think it was motioned at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Oh, you're right. He's got it written. You wrote it down.
6:45.
Yeah, I thought it was 6:45.
6:45. I'm sorry. That was the town meeting for the auditor. Sorry.
Right.
was it the 24th or the 22nd?
24th, 6:45 p.m.
24th, yeah. So with that said, questions, comments from Board of Finance members?
So, what more has this company done? Where have they have other facilities around in the Northeast?
Well, that I don't know off the top.
Much of their work is done, has been done in Massachusetts. The real estate agent for the lots did forward us a PowerPoint presentation that shows some of their previous construction, which I'd be more than happy tomorrow to email to members if you'd like.
I think that would be beneficial.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like that.
Okay, any other questions, comments from the members?
Two questions from me, Mr. Chair. First, I know it was spoken to briefly at the previous meeting, Board of Selectmen. What process was used to I know these properties weren't appraised, but they were
Comps that were done by the company that is looking to help to sell.
okay. And Mary Ann, could you speak to the criteria that were considered into there and what surrounding towns might have been used as comp?
Well, basically what they did was they looked in our immediate area, which Plainfield, Sterling, Jewett City, Killingly, Canterbury, Brooklyn, for lots of similar size and zoning to come up with recent sales for those properties and to determine what would be an appropriate price for our lots in the I-Park.
When you say they, who is they?
Our real estate agent,
Okay.
Lyman Real Estate, Carolyn Trotta's the broker that's handling the I-Park lots.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
And my one other question was just to repeat information raised at an earlier question. What was the percentage off of the sale of these properties going to be?
The way the contract reads, normally it's 6% if they're working on one side. But she's also being a agent for the buyer, so it's 8%.
8%. Okay.
So basically it's around $6,500 for the commission. Off the top of my head.
So we're 8%. If I do the calculation correct, they should get $3,200 per lot.
Right, so 64.
Ted, do you want to call with us?
I guess so.
All right.
Hello, Ted.
Good evening, guys.
Good evening.
Is there any idea what size of buildings they're looking
They have
at?
to, everything has to go by the specs of the I-Park. So it has to follow all their rules for sizing.
Whatever they propose to build has to come before the Planning and Zoning Commission for site plan review. And they'd have to meet all the requirements outlined in the industrial park district zoning regulations and building size in the I-Park zone. You can construct a building 50% of the overall lot size. So if you have a 60,000 square foot lot, you could conceivably construct a 30,000 square foot building if all of the ducks are in a row as far as wetlands goes and setbacks and whatnot. But they'd have to go before planning and zoning for site plan approval at least, or potentially special permit approval for whatever it is they're going to propose to build. And planning and zoning can't make a decision on an application for construction before the proposal goes to the Economic Development Commission for a recommendation.
Is there much wetlands on these lots? I'm not familiar with them.
There's lot 12 has a decent amount of wetlands. Lot 7, there are wetlands on that particular lot as well, but not not so much as it would constrain a development. You could still put a good-sized building there.
So you said a building 50% of the size of the lot?
Conceivably, yeah. Like I said, if all the ducks were in a row, and, wetlands and setbacks and whatnot allowed placement of such a structure. For example, on Lot 3, which isn't before the board tonight for consideration, but that lot could accommodate up to a 40,000 square foot building, and that's an odd, it's a 4.04, I think it is, acre lot. So pretty good sized buildings could conceivably go on those properties.
Is that counting parking?
Pardon me? No, I'm talking just specifically about building size.
Right. But would that count parking areas too or not?
That would be in addition to.
Okay. Okay.
Is there any meaningful history to these lots? Any previous owners? Any kind of cleanup or previous developments that were there?
No, the lots have been vacant since the subdivision approval went through in 1986 when the town first proposed the industrial park. And they've been vacant since that time. So they haven't gone, there hasn't been any construction previously and no contamination, no environmental issues.
And Matt, just to add on to that would be, the reason why we hired Lyman was because we were having problems selling the lots. They're such odd shaped. Some have wetlands, some have a lot of ledge and rock. It's just very difficult. And these are the ones that, I guess you call them not the pick of the litters, obviously. These are the ones that have difficulty in selling. So that's why we anticipated working with a realtor to help us out. And I got to say that I think Lyman has done a fantastic job so far, and they were able to get us opportunities that you see in front of you.
And because there haven't been any previous owners, there's no
nothing on them.
There's no inherited tax liability to anybody assuming the properties either.
Well, the taxes are ours because we own them, so that's why there's no taxes being in on any of those right now.
Okay. Thank you.
And the truth was, Kevin, that's why I was interested in trying to move this process along, is because of how long they've been sitting with no activity and the fact that we don't have these offers that come by us too often. So the key is that we couldn't postpone this and wait till a later date because it was time sensitive. Hence why we're doing this on the same night at a special meeting as the Board of Selectmen meeting plus Planning and Zoning meeting tomorrow. So for me personally, I was definitely for considering this tonight. Ted, I know you joined us late. Did you have anything specifically about this that you wanted to know?
I'm sorry, but you may have already covered it, but it seems to me way back when in the day, there was a minimum we could sell the lots for. Am I correct in that? A minimum amount of dollars? Because this was partially funded by the state when we initially got it?
In my research, I didn't find that that requirement listed anywhere.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Teddy may have a point there. Couldn't find it. Sure, no. That kind of brings back some memories on that.
Ted, I think you seem to, you might have something there, but I'm not positive.
It was designed to preclude the town for selling it to me for $50.
Right.
If nobody's looked into that, I think we should.
Well, we have already.
Sure we're doing it right.
Mary Ann, you've looked into that already?
I did. I researched the town meeting minutes on this property as well as the subdivision. And I didn't see that listed in any of those documents. I didn't see a minimum price requirement listed at all.
Did you check with the state?
I did not check with the state.
I may still have the minutes to some of our EDC meetings. Maybe I'll check too.
Kevin, there were no other offers, right, in recent times made on these lots, or were there? And if there
None.
were, do you remember?
There were no offers.
Okay. Wasn't there one that you were talking about? I don't know that was necessarily these two lots prior to COVID of a group that was interested, but obviously things fell through like many other things during COVID.
That was lots 3 and 2.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, that was not for these. These are not anywhere like
Not
that.
the same. Yeah, okay. All right, so Gary, Don, and Ted, I know you guys have mentioned about possibly wanting to get more information. So what's your pleasure as far as moving forward on this?
I have no problem.
Let's go to the town meeting. I just want more information.
Okay.
We can go between now and then to actually get you what, to do this research for you. Okay.
I think the research piece is helpful, but I mean, if the reality is this has been sitting without any interest, if there is a statement, then it's certainly not helping us. So I would tend to think that whatever offer we're getting on it is probably something to take seriously.
Well, of course, I look at it as, the money that we're getting here obviously was not expected. So that's always good when we're, getting more money than what we had before. And Kelly, this just goes into the fund balance, correct?
Well, we have some money budgeted for sale of iParks. I think 45,000. So if we're receiving more than 45, yeah, it'll go into the fund balance.
Going to the fund, but yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the members?
Just one, I guess one question just about what Kelly just said, that we had a revenue figure in the budget for this.
Yep.
How did we arrive at that figure? Did we already have a pretty good idea of what what a sale of one of these parks might yield us? Because that's pretty close.
So in the past, we just looked at an average of the lots and how we sold them. So we just estimated, because we haven't been selling as many as we'd like to. So we just estimated one sale for this fiscal year 2021. Yeah. So it was just an estimate based on how they were sold over the past few years.
When was the last one we sold? If anybody remembers off the top of your head, it's
I
not.
want to say about 2 years ago. I want to say, I don't think any last year.
All right, I'm
I think
curious.
about 2 years ago. I could research that and tell you.
Okay, it's I just
Mhm.
the numbers all seem very close to each other. Quite a few meaningful time intervals apart from each other. So it's I just find it interesting.
Yeah, no, I could research and tell you, over the past few years what, the dollar amounts were. So then you can see.
All right. And more, I guess, just to speak to that end, if a couple years ago we sold a property pretty close to that amount, I would tend to think that there was no state law that held it up or got in the way. So that's probably less of an issue than we think it may be.
Right. No, there wasn't.
All right. That's it for my questions. Thank you.
I think the
You're
last
welcome.
the last one that was sold was June 11th, 2018. It was iPark Lot 24. Kathy, that was when Kathy was in. Kathy, you remember that one?
I do remember that, Kevin. It was sold to the
D&H
plow.
trailers,
I'm sorry, what?
D&H trailers and plows.
Yes.
Dixie, there's a much larger lot in the back.
All right, anything else? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the sale of iPark lots 7 and 12, as well as sending to town meeting for November 24th, 2020, 6:45 via Zoom.
I moved there, Tom, to do that.
Say that again, Don?
I moved that,
Okay,
what you just said.
yep. Is there a second?
Second, Travis.
There's a second. Further discussion?
Is the price on this final, or is this likely to change in
This
one
will
way
be
or the other?
final. This
Okay.
should be final, yep.
Are we gonna add the sum to the motion?
Say that again?
Are we going to add the motion? Sale price?
That would probably be appropriate.
Yeah, in
Yep.
the past, you've had the sale price. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So Don, you want to
motion.
amend it?
Do the motion, put the sale price in there, the 40 and 40.
40,000.
Yeah,
Okay, 40,000 for each lot.
right, 40,000 for each lot.
Okay, so Don has amended that motion.
I'll second the amended motion.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, moving on to item E, citizens participation. Just remember, if anybody is participating in this, it has to be regarding what was just discussed and decided on. It cannot be any other random business thrown in there. And I do believe I saw Mr. Peterson who had something.
Hey, Tom. I do remember something with the iPark lots, but I believe the state had a time frame that they were dictating what we did with them. I believe that has expired. I believe Mary Ann could probably double check that. I believe that did expire.
Okay. Mary Ann, were you familiar with that?
I wasn't. I will look into it tomorrow.
Okay. And can you just do a follow-up to all the board members? I can certainly send you the email addresses if you need them all. But just to all of them as a follow-up to this.
Absolutely. I would appreciate the emails, Tom. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. All right. Any other public comment?
Yes, I would like to comment on this. In principle, I think this is awesome. I mean, obviously the property's not doing anything, and if somebody can do something productive with it, then great. But I do have a few concerns as far as the research as to the limitations. You could just go to the land records. I mean, some sort of easement or restriction would have been filed on the land records. That'd answer the question pretty quickly. And I do know, just from reference, actions on land are 50 years, just as a time frame. So if something's operative, it's probably going to be operative back to then. I am a bit concerned that we had dual agency on this. Obviously, you can do that. You can sell real estate like that, but there is an inherent chance you're not going to get the deal that you otherwise would have. Typically, when somebody's selling real estate, I always like it when somebody doesn't just do like comps, like they actually do an appraisal and they actually do an income approach in addition to like a regular what would this sell for appraisal. Because it very well could be, if this company is going to be doing this, you know, we may be sitting on a property that's not worth 40,000. We could be sitting on something that's hypothetically worth $500,000. I doubt that's the case, but I based that on the fact that it hasn't moved. But that's kind of just something that, I mean, I guess going forward we might want to do. And as far as the money goes, I'm just going to say this up front. As much as I am for this property moving, I absolutely do not want anybody to get the idea that, oh, look, we have 40 grand. Let's go blow it on something else. Because as I'd mentioned at the last Selectmen's meeting, I was concerned about the new hires. This is kind of a time where you got to really start putting money away rather than looking for places to put it. So that's my 2 cents. I hope it goes through. I hope it all works, and I hope it's not in a 100-year or 500-year floodplain. That's, you know, the only thing that could tangle it up.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Other citizens' participation? Mr. Harmon?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Dan on this one. I do believe just because of the environment, and we don't see it happening cleaning up anytime soon, save the money, stick it aside, put it in a piggy bank, do not reallocate it for something else. And with the coming Amazon, this land being appropriated for commercial condos, whatever the scenario is, start saving now, start saving hard. Do not reallocate this money. And I hope that resonates to the other board members, is that when this event started happening and we started tightening budgets all around, let's just keep doing that. We don't see it happening, getting clear for the next few years. But also for all notification, I'm actually an Amazon partner with their AWS services. So I welcome Amazon and our new overlords. So thank you.
Thank you, Trav. I will just note that, you know, I appreciate obviously the input, you know, knowing that, yes, we do need to be putting money aside, and especially looking ahead to the next budget. You can certainly talk to our first selectman and also Kelly, and they will vouch and tell you that that is something that, you know, we periodically discuss and bring up. I periodically follow up, and I know other Board of Finance members do, especially during these times now that we're in the spending freeze. Since the spending freeze took effect, pretty much on a month-by-month basis, besides at the Board of Finance meetings, I'll do periodic follow-ups with Kevin at the town hall to just see what are the unexpected. You know, there's certain things that we can never predict, you know, so what's been popping up unexpected, how much is it going to cost us, and are we going to be able to stay in budget? Fortunately, we have been thus far, but the future is still very uncertain and unstable, especially not knowing what direction the state's going to go in when they go back into session. So that is something that's always at the top of my mind. I just want to assure the members and the citizens that I am following up on it periodically, and we're going to continue talking about it because, as we know, we are approaching the next budget season. So we are going to have to tighten our belt, and we're going to be having to make some decisions. So obviously, whatever money we can get, we need to keep that in mind.
Hey, Tom, this is Gary.
Yep. Yeah, Gary.
You know, you're all just spinning your wheels. Kelly already told you where the money was going.
Mm-hmm.
Half of it's already been budgeted, and the other half is being saved.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yep.
You're just spinning your wheels.
Yep. No, more just yeah. Just wanted to clarify that because don't want people being under the impression that, you know, we're just going to go free spending, you know, especially during these times.
But Kelly was pretty direct on what was going on with the money.
Yeah, well, also keep in mind too, if somebody didn't hear it, somebody came in late, somebody's having technical issues, it's okay on these things to repeat certain things to ensure that it's clear and everybody got it. So thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move.
I second it.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned, 7:59. Thank you.
Go Patriots.
Go Patriots.
I don't think so, Ted.
Let's not be the Jets' first win.
The Giants are going to go away.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.